after in their lives live registered upon our brazen tombs, and then grace us in the disgrace of death. When, spite of corn devouring time, the endeavor of this present breath may buy, that honor which shall bait his sight's keen edge, and make us heirs of all eternity. Therefore, brave conquerors, for so you are, that war against your own affections in a huge army of the world's desires, our late edict shall strongly stand in force. Navarre shall be the wonder of the world. Outward shall be little academy, still and contemplative in living art. You three, Barone, Humane, and Longueville, have sworn to 3 years' term to live with me here, my fellow scholars, and keep those statutes that are recorded in this schedule here. Your oaths are passed, and now subscribe your names, that his own hand may strike his honor down that violates the smallest branch herein. If you are armed to do, as sworn to do, subscribe to your deep oaths and keep it too.
I am resolved. 'Tis but a 3 years fast. The mind shall banquet, though the body pine. Fat paunches of lean pates and dainty bits may quench the ribs, but banquet quite the wits.
My loving Lord Dumaine is mortified. The gross amount of this world's light he throw upon a gross wealth baser slave. To love, to wealth, to pomp, I pine and dine. With all these, living in philosophy.
I can but say their protestation over. So much, dear liege, as I have already sworn, that is to live and study here 3 years. But there are other strict observances, as not to see a woman in that term, the which I hope is not enrolled there, and 1 day in a week to touch no food, and but 1 meal on every day beside, which I hope well is not enrolled there, and then to sleep but 3 hours in the night, and not to be seen to wink of all the day, when I was wont to think no harm all night, and make a dark night too of half the day, which I hope well is not enrolled there. Oh, these are barren tasks, my lord, too hard to keep. Not to see ladies, study, fast, not sleep.
Your oath is passed, to pass away from these.
Let me say no, my liege. And if you please, I only swore to study with your grace, and stay here in your court for 3 years' space.
You swore that, Barone, and to the rest.
By yea and nay, sir, then I swore in jest. What is the end of study? Let me know.
Why, that to know, which else we should not know.
Oh, things hid and barred, you mean, from common sense?
Aye, that is study's godlike recompense.
Well, come on then, I will swear to study so. To know the thing I am forbid to know. As thus, to study where I well may dine, when I to feast expressly am forbid, or to study where I may meet some mistress fine, when mistresses from common sense are hid, or, having sworn too hard a keeping oath, study to break it, and not break my troth. If study's gain be thus, and this be so, study knows that which yet it doth not know. Swear me to this, and I will never say no.
These be the stops that hinder study quite, and train our intellect to vain life.
Why, all delights are vain, but that most vain, which with pain purchased doth inherit pain, as painfully to pore upon a book, to seek the light of truth, while truth the while doth falsely blind the eyesight of his look. Light seeking light, doth light of light beguile. So, here you find where light and darkness lies. Your light grows dark by losing of your eyes. Study me how to please the eye indeed, by fixing it upon a fairer eye, who, dazzling so, that eye shall be his heed, and give him light that it was blinded by. Study is like the heaven's glorious sun, and will not be deep searched with saucy looks. Small, have continual plotters, ever one, save base authority from others' books, these earthly godfathers of heaven's lights that give a name to every fixed star. See no more profit to their shining nights than those that walk and know not what they are. Too much to know is to know not what fame, and every godfather can give a name.
How well he's read to reason against reading.
Proceeded well. It's not about good proceeding.
He, weeds the corn and still lets grow the wheating.
Spring is near when green geese are breeding.
How follows that?
Fit in his place and time.
And reason nothing.
Something then in rhyme.
Rune is like an envious sneaking frost that bites the firstborn infants of the spring.
Well, say I am. Why should proud summer boast before the birds have any cause to sing? Why should I joy in any abortive birth at Christmas? I no more desire a rose than which a snow in May's newfangled mirth, but like of each thing that in season grows. So you, to study now it is too late, climb o'er the house to unlock the little gate.
Well then, go home, Baron. Adieu.
No, my good liege, I have sworn to stay with you, and though I have for barbarism spoke more than for that angel knowledge, you can say, yet confident I'll keep what I have sworn, and bide the penance of each 3 years' day. Give me the paper, let me read the same, and to the strictest decrees I'll write my name.
How well this yielding rescues thee from shame.
Item, that no woman shall come within a mile of my court. Hath this been proclaimed?
4 days ago.
Let's see the penalty. On pain of losing her tongue? Who devised this penalty?
Marry, that did I.
Sweet Lord, and why?
To fright the men with that dread penalty.
A dangerous law against gentility. Item, if any man be seen to talk with a woman within the term of 3 years, he shall endure such public shame as the rest of the court can possibly devise.
Oh, yeah.
This article, my liege, yourself must break. For well you know, here comes in embassy the French king's daughter with yourself to speak, a maid of grace and complete majesty, about surrender up of Aquitaine to her decrepit sick and bedrid father. Therefore, this article is written in vain, or vainly comes the admired princess hither.
What say you, lords? Why, this is quite forgot.
So, study evermore is overshot. While it doth study to have what it would, it doth forget to do the thing it should. And when it hath the thing it wanteth most, 'tis one as towns by fire. So won, so lost.
We must dispense with this decree. She must lie here of mere necessity.
Necessity will make us all forsworn 3,000 times within this 3 years' space. For every man, with his affects, is born not by might mastered, but by special grace. If I break faith, this word shall speak for me. I am forsworn on mere necessity, so to the laws at large I will write my name. And he that breaks them in least decree stands in attainder of eternal shame. Suggestions are to other as to me, but I believe, although I seem so loath, I am the last that will last break his troth. But is there no quick recreation granted?
Aye, that there is. Our court, you know, is haunted with a refined traveler of Spain, a man in all the world's new fashion planted, and the mint of phrases in his brain, one whom the music of his own vain tongue doth ravish like enchanting harmony, a man of compliments, whom right and wrong have chose as umpire of the mutiny. This child of fancy, that Armado hype, we intern to our study Chevrolet in high-grown words worth the many a night, from haughty Spain lost in all the world's debate. I do delight my lords, I know not I, but I protest I love to hear him lie, and I will use him for my minstrelsy.
Armado is a most illustrious wight, a man of fiery words, fashion's own knight.
To start the sway, and he shall be our sport. And so to study, 3 years is but short.